Hi everyone, my name's Donkey and today we're back on the RTS project. So, in the last video we had quite a few technical issues, but we wrote up this code now. Also, if you remember back in the last video, this code didn't work, it didn't draw anything. I'm not sure why. I think it was to do with the performance problems that we were having, and all that horrible stuff that was going along with it, but we've basically done it exactly the same. No changes that I can see have made there. It's identical and it's working. You can see it's not working quite as we wanted to though. Now that was intentional, because we laid it out very much grid-like. We've got 4 var x, 4 var y. It's running in a direct grid. There's no fancy code here, it's just timesing it by the cell width and cell height, which I'm going to check now if we have a macro for. Get some scene configurations. Well, in fact, do you have macros in this new version? Who knows? Anyway, we'll leave it for the moment. It'll be fine. We're gonna do something a little bit different. So we did have this kind of method before. Now that was, I guess that would work. But I did a bit more research and looking into it and found this very useful website, Isometric Math, which uses a slightly different method. So it uses this kind of style. Now that it might not look like it makes much sense to start with, but it makes quite a lot of sense if you look into it more. So that point there matches to that point there, that point there matches to that point there. We basically just rotated it that way. Clockwise a little bit, 45 degrees I believe. So what we need to then do is work out what these bits are. So for this, it's laid out like this, and actually another thing is based very similarly off that code. I believe it's the basic unit. One of these things it runs off it. It might be the controller. Might be one of these ones. Yeah, there we go. It's this bits that run pretty much identical to these, so it only makes sense to keep it all similar and run off this as well. So we need to work out what map X, or in our case, we can close that down. In our case, we're using global.tilegrid, so we're going to make a little comment here. Global.tilegrid ++ is, and we need to work out what it actually does. So to do this, I'm just going to open up my room. I think it's probably the easiest way of running this. We're going to then add a few of these in just for the moment. So this is our imaginary room. They're not quite centered. That's a bit weird, but if we make them a bit like this, so we want to work out, we're going from the top points as well, or doesn't really matter, but we want to work out what these are. So effectively in this scenario we're going half this, so we're going half the height and half the width, believe. Nice one. So half the width, half that. That gets us to the other side. So in here we've got tile. We have actually set things up. Tile width and tile height. So we can comment this out for the moment. So we're going to say is x plus tile width gives 2. And y plus tile width div 2. That will get us one to the left there. On the other hand, if we're going the other way, minus minus is x going to be minus tile width div 2 and y minus tile width div 2. Now that's, I believe, relatively simple, but that's just on the x. What about the y? What if we were to add 1 to the y? So in this scenario, in fact, we've done this a bit wrong. That's meant to be for the y. So that's meant to be for the x. That's meant to be for the y, but we're meant to be adding. Right, okay, so that makes a bit of sense, I guess, if you're looking at that and you're a bit confused. Don't worry, I'll explain. So we're adding to the x, we're moving right and down. If we're adding to the y, we're moving left and down. So here's where we need to actually code this. So we're going to draw sprite exactly the same as before. This is going to be identical. Global.tile grid xx yy. And now because we're looping, we don't actually need this, and we just use xx. Subimage is 0. And then we're going to want to add to the x. So we need to simplify this out a bit. So x, if x is 1, I have to times it out with the grid thing. So to get the y, the x, you minus the 2. This is the x. You minus 2. For that you add the 2. Right? Yeah. So let's code that quickly, just to show you what it looks like. So we're gonna say xx minus yy. I'm gonna put that all in brackets, times tile width div 2. The other one is going to be xx plus yy times tile height div 2. Right, now if we run this and actually see whether this has worked or not, we've missed some brackets there. Yep, we don't need that either. Tile height apparently we haven't set. We've set them as local variables. Right, there we go. That should work now. Whoa, got a terrible mess. Okay, that's because I've left these in. Right, there we go. But actually, we did see then that it didn't work as it should have done. So okay, let's just run that again and just check that it's done that. Yeah, it's gone back to the grid layout. So why has it done that? So let's run some numbers, shall we? So we're going back to this image here. Let's say we're at 2, 2. Okay. So for the x coordinates, we're minusing them, so it's going to be 0. Then that doesn't matter. So that's right, we're in line with that up there. We're then adding the 2, so that's 4. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So in theory that should work. I believe the problem might come though from where this is, this point here. I believe that's where it's from. Let's just run it again. I'm not sure whether it's weird. It should in theory work, because we start at 0. We should always start in the corner, because x and y will both be 0, so 0 minus 0, and then this doesn't matter, 0 plus 0, and then this doesn't matter, then we should go. Actually, let's put some debug messages in here. It's probably the best method instead of just guessing. We're gonna take this. So this should give us the X position. This one. And if we run that, this should now show us here where it should be drawing them. So what numbers do we have here? So they look right. We've got some minus numbers. Which we shouldn't be having. So we might need to absolute that. Let's try that now. Might be that. Might have been that all along that was causing it. Nope. So it's not that it's going off. That's not the problem. Have we got the X and the Y the wrong way around? Let's see what they've put here. X minus X plus. Whoa, that's the wrong one. So we've got X minus X plus. Just quickly, what I'm going to do, because this did work last time, oddly enough. Let's just go to home. Let's just reopen it and then run it. No, okay. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Actually, hang on. Sprites on land. Let's change that to top center. And now let's run it. Okay, so now they're actually in line with this. We just need some in the middle. Which could have just been the problem all along. We could just not have these middle ones. Let's divide these values by 4. Let's see if this just makes a mess or whether it actually works. Nope, that's not helpful whatsoever. What if we times it by a whole one? In fact, is that even right? Ah. Well, we've made them parallel. Now at least we've made them in line with what they should have been. We're now just missing the ones in between. So we might have to leave it at that, but basically, if I show you quickly, we've got these all nicely laid out. We've got these gaps here with nothing in, and I'm not quite sure why that's happening. I mean, my guess is that it's missing some out, because when it's timesing, let's just take that one there. Well, actually, let's take that one. That one should be 1, 1. Now, if it's 1, 1, the minus them, that doesn't matter. Oh no, that can't be 1, 1. That one's got to be 1, 1. I'm just confusing myself now, I think. Right, yep, I think I'll just leave that for this video. In the next one, I'll definitely get that sorted. If not before the next one, put it in the comments, because it'll probably be a really stupid quick fix I'll just do after. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you like the video, remember to like, subscribe, or do what you guys want to do, and I'll promise that we'll get some more progress done in the next video.